Okay. This is the second week in a row that I didn't quite get go on the second feature. Just making sure I'm recording here. And yes, I'm blind. Let me put my glasses on and take a look. Okay. We are back. This is feature 2 of tonight's double feature. And now everything's out of order. This is my second green deacon. I know it's not very green. But that is delicious. So the first time around, I made it like it was supposed to be made. You got a shot of gin. You got a half a shot of sloe gin. I had to substitute orange juice. Not because I'm poor, but because I take drugs and I can't have grapefruit juice. So I got orange gin. I got a lemon wedge in there. This time, instead of just rinsing the glass with absinthe, I put a splash of absinthe. And let me tell you, it's better with more absinthe. And I'm not someone who's going to drink that straight. I don't do the chasing the fairy thing. But I've never met a drink with a splash or a rinsed glass of absinthe that I didn't like. And that pink green deacon is delicious. Okay, feature 2. Look at that. Looks like it's right from the pages of Mad Magazine. Is that Jack Davis? I don't know. I'll have to look it up. Back when you had to beat it before you could eat it. Caveman. Starring my favorite Beatle, Ringo Starr. Barbara Bach, who was Ringo Starr's wife. Wife? Hold on. I'm going to find out. I know I'm wasting your time here. Believe it or not, when you type Ringo into Wikipedia, the first option that pops up is Ringo Starr. Married in 1981. And they're still married today, ladies and gentlemen. Since I was 15 years old. I turned 16 in 1981. Dennis Quaid, Shelley Long, and Avery Schreiber. Seriously, Avery Schreiber. The Gene Shalit of comedy. Camedy. That's what I would say if I was from Boston, but I'm not. Gene Shalit probably gave this movie a 0. He was a little uptight. But Avery Schreiber, that's when you know you're talking quality in a movie. Okay. Now, If you're wondering why I took my suit off, my suit doesn't have a fly. I had to go pee. My suit hasn't had a fly since the days of circus groupies. But maybe I should put one in there now that I'm old and have to pee all the time. Yeah, there's no more circus groupies. Caveman. 1981 David Foster Productions. United Artist Pictures. Now, I know that's not a big thing now, but 1981 United Artists was a big studio. Ringo stars as a Took, a kind of a weak link in a band of cavemen led by a hulking giant named Tonda. Yeah, take that, Kanye. And his woman, Lana, played by Bach. A Took pines for Lana, but is no match for Tonda. After drugging the two and trying to have his way with Lana, a Took is expelled from the tribe, kicked out, and forced to live on his own. For a minute, anyway. Soon he meets up with Lar, Dennis Quaid, who has been hobbled up by nearly being eaten by a dinosaur. Okay. This is a satire. And up until now, every movie featured cavemen living right alongside dinosaurs. So we're going to continue as though that actually happened. Anywhere else but a biblical literous dream world. Well, he was left for dead after he was nearly eaten by the dinosaur by Tonda. They run to embrace, so picture, okay, a Took and Lar haven't seen each other for a long time. They run to embrace and crack. Well, they're no longer hunched over cavemen. They're upright. And as upright humans, they begin to thrive. They meet a young lady, Shelley Long. You know her. You probably hate her. I hated Diane on Cheers. But I think that was the point. And Shelley Long is actually really good at playing that woman that you hate. That person that you hate. She has a knack for it. Anyway, Shelley Long and her father, her blind father, they save the father from a tar pit, and that's how they meet the two. The girl, Tala, she takes a liking to a Took. But a Took, alas, is smitten with Lana. He has no use for Shelley Long. In real life, too. Okay, they meet up with several other misfits from varying tribes, and they band together to form a tribe of misfits. I like where this movie's going. After a particularly nasty thunderstorm, they discover fire, lightning, and cooking. Well, one day, while fishing, Lana falls in the river and is swept away downstream from Tonda. He's powerless to help her, or doesn't want to jump in the river and help her. Either way, she is rescued by a took. Well, wouldn't you know it, Tala, Shelley Long, is jealous, and she runs off to tell Tonda that Lana is still alive. What a bitch. But it's exactly what we'd expect from Shelley Long. I'm sure she's really nice in real life, but this is the character that she typically plays. Then comes to a head the rivalry between Atuk and Tonda. A full-on war between the misfits and the normies. Over what? Well, over Lana. Or is it something more than that? Shit, I'm getting all philosophical here. It's Caveman. Let's have some more of this green deacon. I was hoping that orange juice and a lemon wedge would kind of approximate grapefruit juice. Not really. I love grapefruit juice and I wish I could still have it. Okay. Like others of the era, 1981, this was funnier when I was 15 years old. But it's still pretty funny today. And since I only wrote this 10 years ago, I'm going to say it's safe to say that it's still funny today. Big furry boots. I wrote here, now the rage for ravers everywhere. Raver girls, anyway. Raves aren't such a big thing as they used to be when I wrote this. But, you know, hey, Groovinthia, out there on the Instagram. I bet she's still got some furry boots. Furry boots, howling dinosaurs, and marijuana berries. Yeah, there's a really funny scene where, marijuana berries feature very heavily. Okay, there was another movie that came out in 1981 called Quest for Fire, the more serious caveman movie. But I'm going to be honest here. I don't know which was more accurate, Quest for Fire or Caveman. I mean, I'm pretty sure you've all seen Life of Brian, right? Tell me that's not exactly how it happened. Caveman could be exactly how it happened. So while Quest for Fire is the better movie, it is Caveman that lives on. It is Caveman that became the cult film. And I give Caveman 4 rings. It's a 4-ring circus tonight on the Late Night Picture Show. Did you see that in the shadow? Okay, so I'm not going to get the bucket out. Monkey was already here on take 1. Wait, I did this. I could feel the wind in my eye. And what Monkey picked is a recent addition to the bucket. And we have some swinging 70s vampires next week. And honest, I'm trying to add more exploitation and other types of film besides horror to my bucket, but I couldn't miss these. The Velvet Vampire and Vampires with a Y. A couple of 1970s swinging rated R kind of nudity type vampire movies. Could be billed as lesbian vampire movies. We'll get into that on the Velvet Vampire, because it was a little misleading. Next week on the Late Night Picture Show, if you liked what you saw, give me a thumbs up. If you hated it, give me a thumbs down. Leave some comments. Tell me if you thought Caveman was as funny as when you were 15. Or if you're one of the younger kids that watches my show, have you seen Caveman? I think you ought to. I know you've heard of Ringo Starr. Whoa, what happened there? I better wrap this up because we're getting some lag here. Good night, kids. See you next week.